guess the biggest thing would be security. I think within cryptocurrency and even on the blockchain side, like the security piece is huge, just like everything.
Hey folks, Flo here with Blockchain North. We're here at Futurist 2023. I'm here with Ashley Wright. Why don't I let you introduce yourself in 30 seconds or less? What's your what, why, and who?
Yes, so my name is Ashley Wright. I'm all about community as well as education in the cryptocurrency, blockchain, Web3 space. Passionate about really bringing diversity into the industry, so helping both women specifically as well as individuals in the Black community learn how to get involved, start a business, launch their career in this industry, or even become leaders is really what it's all about. And then the biggest reason as to why is really just passionate about the space. I understand how early we are and really just want to make sure that it's accessible and open to everybody.
So how did you get involved in crypto?
So I got started in 2016. I was literally at home, just chilling, relaxing, and I overheard my parents talk about Bitcoin, digital currency. And this is back in 2016. No one was really talking about it much. So I'm like, okay, these people are kind of crazy because I'm like, I've never heard of that before. Some internet money, and they're telling me to invest into it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I invested. I took about $300, bought some Bitcoin, and then forgot about it. And then when I went back, logged on and checked, that $300 grew to almost $900. And then I got so excited, I'm like, I need to learn how all of this works. And literally just started to dive in, essentially.
Wow, and now you spend a lot of your time educating. You really are an educator, I think. Speaking of education, what is the need for education right now? What do people need to learn the most about?
I guess the biggest thing would be security. I think within cryptocurrency and even on the blockchain side, like the security piece is huge, just like everything, right? We see companies, FTX, wallets, so many different hacks, especially in the DeFi space. So it's like being able to not only secure your assets, but also your information is probably the biggest piece. And even when we're thinking about companies that are launching products or businesses, you may have a great idea, but if people don't know what you do or understand the products because they don't in order for like mass adoption to happen, it has to be simple products, right? So education as well as like communication and the simplicity is how you're really going to get things to scale and mass adoption, essentially.
And with all the sort of drama that we saw in the last sort of 18 months, I'm wondering, is it even more difficult to get people convinced to educate themselves?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I mean, beginners are definitely really fearful about the market still, and which is why I'm like trying to do my best to be consistent, promote good content where people can see like, hey, like it's still around. It's not just like crypto, yes, the market has dropped, but the technology is still here and people are using it. Large companies, Walmart, McDonald's, tons of large organizations are using the technology. So
more and more, in fact.
Exactly. So I think if we highlight that piece, that's where we'll start to see more people feel a little bit more comfortable getting involved.
Yeah, super important.
Yeah.
Now, why does the Black community maybe need crypto, or what is sort of your motivation to provide services specifically to the Black community?
Yeah, so, and this is like something really passionate to me as well, and I think the biggest thing is like I said, I started pretty early, and I've been going to a lot of conferences, a lot of events, and I'm like, always one of the only women in the room, much less women of color in the room. So I'm like, yeah, we need to do something to change this, and so, you know, with our community, the biggest piece is being able to have that freedom of like, regardless of where you're from, your educational background, whatever, you can still participate in this industry. Because that's what Web3 and blockchain is all about. It's access, right? And it's decentralized. So really pushing that narrative, but also making sure to create products and services that they can relate to. Because I think the community, the culture that we have is very different. So a lot of it is like being able to tailor a lot of the content.
Okay. And of course, we're also seeing a lot of adoption in Africa, for example, and other developing countries. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. What would be some of your future predictions for crypto for the next 2 years?
Oh my God. Okay, so I have to put a disclaimer because
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice, correct. So, I mean, personally, I think we could see Bitcoin get to 100K. I know we have the halving that's coming up next year as well, which will be really interesting. I'm not saying maybe next year, but it could be the following year. We could see some really good traction, right? We start to understand like the movement of Bitcoin, pretty repetitive every 4 to 5 years, kind of same type of movements and patterns. So following that, I think over the next year or two, we could see Bitcoin kind of hit those type of numbers.
Any other predictions, non-necessarily price related?
I mean, adoption in the industry, I think we're going to see a lot more, right? Especially as regulation slowly starts to kind of like finalize. We have some type of guideline. And I think it was actually Kevin O'Leary that said it in an interview. He's like, he really believes that trillions of dollars is going to come into the industry once we have regulation. So I think we're getting closer to that a little bit, but at the same time too, I think companies are already starting to adopt it. So once more people once again see it, they're going to start to believe it, and then there's more faith.
And of course, BlackRock and everything surrounding it is going to be huge, right?
ETFs, right? Yeah, the Bitcoin ETFs that are out there, so many companies applying, like BlackRock as well, and some others as well, right? So
Absolutely. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Pleasure speaking with you again.
Always